Bad news coming in from the Arsenal camp is that Zinchenko's season has to come to an end. Like we told you about William Saliba, that he might not see himself return until the start of the preseason of Arsenal. They are going to host in America. Zinchenko has also joined the queue of the injured squad of Arsenal, or the injured list of players of Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. Who has gone ahead to break this story? It's David Austin, and this is the Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. We are here to discuss the 4 players of Arsenal listed to be crowned as the player for the month of April that was recently concluded, and Arsenal really had some bad and weird performances that most of you don't even want to come here to discuss about. And then lastly, Balogun, another huge statement coming in from Mikel Silvestri, has also gone ahead and really given Arsenal fans a very good verdict that most of you might not agree with, and it might leave a divided opinion as far as you fans of Arsenal are really concerned, and what your thoughts are for the player known as Balogun. Now, I'm trying to really heal, and just some little sores left into my neck, and I'm trying to fight this flu, you know, and some little bit of cough, but the headache is gone, no more body pain. So I thank God for the gift of life, and you guys who have gone ahead to throw in those prayers to protect me, to see to it that I really get healed. Thank you, because every prayer counts, you know, every prayer counts, and thank you for the prayers, and keep them coming in through. So as I pray for you here, keep them coming in through. Now, today David Austin has gone ahead to put out a story that has really shocked everyone of Arsenal, because none of us never even knew that Zinchenko was taken out of the game of Newcastle because of a calf injury. To me, I thought it was a tactical change because Zinchenko had been thrown down to the ground. Was it by Murphy or Joe Willock, you know, and he had costed Arsenal. I think that's why he was taken off. But this shows you how rigid Mikel Arteta is and doesn't learn from his mistakes. So David Austin has confirmed us that Arsenal defenders William Saliba and Alexander Zinchenko out for the rest of the season. Saliba has not recovered sufficiently from back injury, and Zinchenko picked up calf problem at Newcastle. Better news is neither expected to require surgery. That is David Austin coming in through and obviously telling us that news. Now, when you look at Zinchenko, it's really very much threatening about him. When you look at his injury record at Arsenal this season, it's really worrying. Why? These are the injuries Zinchenko has gone ahead to get ever since he came in at Arsenal. He came in at Arsenal, I think, towards, was it 22nd July around? That's it. So he started all the games of Arsenal, and I think he first got any problem on the 3rd of September 2022, and he was out for 8 days, and he missed 8 matches. Then from September 16th, you know, until 1st November 2022, he was out with what we call a calf injury, and he was out for 46 days, and he missed 10 games. Then from 14th April to 17th, 3 days, he was out and missed 1 game. The injury was really unknown. Now, today, 7th of May 2023, has gone ahead to really get off the field of play via Newcastle, and he has a calf injury and has been ruled him out until the end of the season. Now, what message does that send to Mikel Arteta? Zinchenko is a very good player, but this season he has not gone ahead to average the real number of games that any player should average at Arsenal, you know, at the age of 26. Why are injuries becoming part of his career? In the Premier League, Zinchenko has only gone ahead to play 27 games. Remember, Arsenal have played 30. Arsenal have played 35 games, meaning that in the Premier League he missed 8. In the UEFA Europa League, Arsenal played 8 games. He only played 3 and missed out on 5. So those are 13 games he missed. EFL Cup, he played 1 game, and that was against it was against Brighton, and they knocked Arsenal out at the Emirates. And then the FA Cup, they first played Oxford. I think he played that game and even that of Man City. So it shows you how Zinchenko is a very instrumental player, but injuries are trying to describe his journey of Arsenal in here for you. So to me, I've been shocked, by the way. You know, I've been left in total shock, because if I told Mikel Arteta was not willing to take off Zinchenko off the field of play when they are taking on Newcastle, when he had been turned into an avenue by Clean Trippier and Joe Willock, I'm really bothered about the tactics of Arteta, because it's the same substitution he delayed not to make, and Liverpool went ahead to capitalize onto that. Trent Alexander-Arnold skinned and cooked Zinchenko, net-magged him towards the byline, and floated that ball to the far post, and Firmino headed it in the back of the net. So he's a manager who tends not to learn, and you saw the difference when KNTN came in through. So I might sound selfish and stupid, but I think for these remaining 3 games of Arsenal, it's a blessing in disguise, because KNTN means business, and I think it's going to help Arsenal to put KNTN in the shop window, because he has shown us that every time he comes on through, he has been brilliant. But the hugest prayer is, let him also not get injured, because he's also an injury-prone player. So it shows you that if at all KNTN also gets an injury, you'll find that Arsenal will get Jakub Kivio and play him as the left back. Then Rob Holding returns into the central defense with Gabriel Magalhaes, and Ben White plays at the right back. So it's really a worrying situation for Arsenal, but never say never. Arsenal is really doing the best that they're doing to fight back, but it shows you how short their squad was this season, and Arteta needs to address these issues. That's it. So for Saliba William, Arteta confirmed to us that he's nowhere near close coming in through, and obviously I see no reason as to why they are forcing him, because if you never forced him back in the game of Man City, Newcastle and Liverpool, because those are the games I thought that maybe Mikel Arteta would really try and force him on the field of play with painkillers, then no need to bring him on when you're playing Brighton. They're left with Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and the last team Arsenal is playing, let me check here. What is the last team Arsenal is playing here? Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Emirates. That's it. So as it stands, Arsenal is really having a very good stay. However much these players are really absent, I believe they can get the job out of the way. So let's wait and see how Arsenal starts its season, because this is one of those things that you will always come out and obviously look through the season, because these players aren't machines. They will at a point X get injured, and one of those players that shows you that an injury can come in unexpectedly is William Saliba. He nowhere looked like he's going to get an injury, and if I told you if you're to talk about injury-prone players, Saliba is not into that caliber. So let's wait and see how that happens. But obviously, Arsenal found themselves in a position of really conceding to 2 more players out injured. Now, Arsenal's gone ahead to release the list of the players to compete for the nominee for the April Arsenal Player of the Month. Ben White is into the mix, Martin Odeegard is into the mix, Gabriel Martinelli is into the mix, and Jesus is into the mix. And I think this might be between Odeegard and Gabriel Jesus, because they've gone ahead to really look different. Even Martinelli can come in through and obviously put in a shift, but I think in the match of April, Jesus has found himself in a more better situation, because when you look in the match of April, Arsenal started it off with the game of Leeds. Jesus scored a brace, you know that very well. Jesus scored a brace, Benny White, and then Granit Xhaka. Right? When we go to the game they played against Is it Crystal? No, it's not Crystal Palace. Then they went away to play at Liverpool. Jesus scored 1 and Martinelli scored 1. Those are 3 goals for Jesus. Then for West Ham, Jesus scored 1, you know, and Odeegard scored 1. So that is 1 for Odeegard and 3 for Jesus. Southampton, it was Martin Odeegard scored 1, right? Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. So against Man City, it was Rob Holding. So I think that's when April came to an end with that 4-1 loss against Man City. So I think Martinelli, Jesus, and Odeegard are into the queue to compete for this. But I really believe that it's going to be either Jesus or Odeegard because they've just looked better than any Arsenal player on the field of play. So I think for the month of May, if at all Jakub Kiwior continues to put up such good performances, he'll find himself into the list of those being picked. Ben White, great, and but the other 3 are really so ahead of him. You know, Jesus has like 5 goals. You know, are they 5 or 4? 2 against Leeds, 1 against Liverpool, 1 against West Ham. Those are 4. Odeegard 3, Martinelli I think 2. So I think it's in between those, and let's wait and see how that is going to pan out from the voters of Arsenal, because it belongs to the fans of Arsenal, not us. But I would have given it to Gabriel Jesus, welcoming him back from the injury spell of a knee, and has gone ahead to put out close to, are they 5 or 6 goals ever since he came in through. I think that's really good of him, and I think he has gone ahead to really do the needful for Arsenal, especially in those big games. He tried to really put them ahead on most times. Now, Mikel Silvestri, formerly at Arsenal, has said Florin Balogun has proven this year in League One that he's ready. He's taken his chances and his confidence has grown. He's ready for Europe football at the highest level, which is the Champions League. He was talking to betting experts. Then he concluded by saying he needs to go where he's going to play and start. He just needs to find a place where he's wanted as a number 1. Italy and England would be good destinations for him. And this is something that is going to cause divided opinions, the fans of Arsenal, and say that maybe they don't want to wish well for Arsenal. But if at all you know what Arsenal needs and how much money Arsenal needs to spend this summer, with only 2 players they're really looking at to reinforce their midfield, costing close to £160 million, that is Caicedo and Declan Rice, it shows you that Arsenal needs to sell players like Balogun to raise some £40 million and then see themselves really go into that market huge and better. That's it, because Balogun is a very good player, but if you bring him back at Arsenal and really bench him, then you are like trying to really slow down his movement he has been having at steady runs. So I think it's better Arsenal let Balogun go on a permanent. That's it. You sell him off, reinforce your squad, and stay with Trossard, Jesus, Nketiah. Then you reinforce the defense, the midfield, and the right attacking side of the midfield. I think that is far much better than keeping Balogun. That's it according to me. So guys, your thoughts onto Zinchenko's season comes to an end are welcome into the comment section below. Then, what are your thoughts about Balogun? Would you let him go or not go? And lastly, who do you think should be crowned the award of the Arsenal player for the month of April? Jesus, Martinelli, Ben White, or Martin Odeegard? I sign out for now. See you later. One more video is left. I'm coming back in a gift.